What if everything you've been told about happiness is a lie? Everything you think you know about life, success, and happiness might be a lie. From childhood, we are conditioned to believe that happiness comes from external validation, that love will complete us, that success is measured in wealth and status, and that relationships should be effortless if they're meant to be. But what if everything you've been told about happiness is wrong? Society has sold you a fantasy, and without realizing it, you've been chasing an ideal that doesn't exist. It's time to wake up. The wisdom you are about to hear is raw, unfiltered Stoic philosophy. It will challenge everything you believe about love, friendships, and human connection. It won't tell you what you want to hear, but it will tell you what you need to hear. And that's not easy. This philosophy is not for the weak-hearted. It requires courage, self-reflection, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But if you embrace it, you will build relationships based on true strength, resilience, and understanding, not fleeting emotions or wishful thinking. Why does this matter? Because right now, most people are struggling with relationships. We are more connected than ever through technology, yet we feel more lonely than ever before. People misunderstand love, put unrealistic expectations on friendships, and struggle with rejection, heartbreak, and loss. The Stoics understood human nature deeply, and their wisdom holds the key to a better, healthier approach to relationships, one that leads to peace rather than pain, growth rather than disappointment. But before we dive in, remember this: discomfort is the first step to growth. What you're about to hear may unsettle you. It may go against everything you've been taught. But if you want relationships that are meaningful, authentic, and free from unnecessary suffering, you need to hear this. Let's begin. Comfort is seductive, but it is also the slow poison that kills ambition. In life, we crave comfort, stability, familiarity, security. Society tells us that a stress-free life is the ultimate goal, that happiness comes from ease, and that avoiding discomfort means avoiding suffering. But here's the hard truth. Your comfort zone is your coffin. It is where dreams go to die, where relationships become stagnant, where personal growth is buried alive. Think about it. How many people stay in unfulfilling relationships just because they are familiar? How many professionals remain stuck in jobs they hate because change feels too risky? How many people avoid difficult conversations, suppress their true desires, and settle for mediocrity just because the unknown seems too dangerous? Example, take someone like Sarah. She's been working in the same job for 5 years, even though she feels unfulfilled. She's comfortable with the routine and fears that taking a risk to change careers could lead to failure. Her dream of starting her own business seems impossible when she imagines the uncertainty and potential failure. Yet by staying in that comfort zone, she's slowly killing her dreams. It's not the job that's holding her back. It's the fear of stepping into the unknown. The cost of comfort is far greater than the cost of taking risks. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, strength through hardship. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this well. Despite being one of the most powerful men in history, he refused to let himself become complacent. His daily practice was embracing discomfort, training his mind and body to withstand hardship, and viewing every struggle as an opportunity to grow stronger. He wrote in his journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Look at athletes like Serena Williams. She didn't get to the top by playing it safe. Serena has faced countless obstacles, injuries, defeats, and the pressure of being in the public eye. But every time she faced hardship, she leaned into it, knowing that struggle would make her stronger. She didn't avoid discomfort, she thrived. In it, the very obstacles we fear are the ones that shape us. Instead of avoiding challenges, Aurelius leaned into them. He knew that only through struggle do we become powerful, and you must do the same. Step beyond fear. Train yourself to thrive in discomfort. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you weaken yourself. Every time you avoid discomfort, you Give up a chance to grow. Think about Jack, who wants to write a book but is terrified of rejection. Every time he sits down to write, he hesitates, convinced his writing won't be good enough. He stays in his comfort zone doing nothing. But when he finally pushes through that fear, starts writing, and faces the discomfort of potential failure, that's when growth begins. The risk of rejection no longer controls him. Want stronger relationships? Stop avoiding hard conversations. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Want a meaningful life? Stop settling for mediocrity. Demand more from yourself, from your work, and from your relationships. Want to level up? Stop playing it safe. Move to that new city. Learn that new skill. Chase your ambition, even if failure is possible. Your life expands in proportion to the risks you take. Practical action. Do something difficult today. The only way to break free from comfort is to embrace discomfort intentionally. Start small. You don't have to make huge changes right away. Start with simple actions. Take a cold shower. Train your mind to endure. Speak up in a meeting. Stop being afraid of your own voice. Push your physical limits. Exercise harder than you think you can. Face a fear. Approach that person. Start that project. Take that leap. Consider someone like Tim Ferriss, who was terrified of public speaking. He forced himself to take uncomfortable steps, first speaking in front of small groups, then larger ones, and eventually becoming a best-selling author and sought-after speaker. It was only through stepping into the discomfort of fear that he achieved growth. If you don't challenge yourself, life will challenge you anyway. And when it does, only those who have trained themselves to embrace discomfort will rise above. Your comfort zone is your coffin. Break free and start living. High expectations lead to suffering because they create a gap between reality and desires. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to expect things from life. We expect fairness, love, loyalty, and success. We expect that if we work hard, we will be rewarded. We expect that if we treat people well, they will treat us the same. But here's a question for you. What happens when life doesn't meet those expectations? Here's the harsh truth. Expectation is the root of misery. Every time you feel disappointment, frustration, or resentment, stop and ask yourself, what was I expecting? The answer will always reveal the source of your suffering. We suffer not because of reality itself, but because reality fails to match our expectations. Take Emily. She worked hard to build a business and believed that if she gave her best, customers would appreciate it and buy from her. But when things didn't go as planned and sales didn't meet expectations, she felt defeated and frustrated. Emily was expecting the world to respond according to her efforts, but when reality didn't match that expectation, she felt let down. Ask yourself, have you ever felt like Emily, expecting something from life or others that simply didn't come? You expect your partner to never hurt you, but people are flawed. You expect friends to always be there, but life pulls people in different directions. You expect life to be fair, but fairness is a human concept, not a universal law. But here's the real question. What if you stopped expecting everything to go your way? By clinging to expectations, you set yourself up for pain. The world does not conform to your desires, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner you will find peace. Seneca's wisdom. Expect hardship, betrayal, and failure. The Stoic philosopher. Seneca had a powerful approach to life. Expect the worst and you will never be disappointed. But this is not pessimism, it is preparation. He advised his students to mentally rehearse hardships before they happened, so that when they arrived, they would not be caught off guard. He understood that suffering is not caused by adversity itself, but by our refusal to accept it. Here's a powerful thought. Instead of thinking, this shouldn't be happening to me, a Stoic thinks, of course this is happening. This is life. Expect betrayal, and you will be calm when it comes. Expect failure, and you will bounce back stronger. Expect loss, and you will appreciate what you have while it lasts. Consider a situation where you lose a job. Instead of feeling devastated, think about how you can grow from it. You might realize you didn't like the job, but it pushed you to develop new skills. It wasn't a failure. It was a stepping stone to something greater. By lowering our expectations, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Detach from rigid expectations and embrace adaptability. The solution to expectation-based suffering is simple but powerful. Detach from rigid expectations and embrace adaptability. This does not mean giving up hope or ambition. It means learning to flow with life, rather than fight against it. Ask yourself, how many times have you held on to an outcome or expectation so tightly that you missed the beauty of the present moment? Instead of expecting relationships to be perfect, accept that they require patience and growth. Instead of expecting life to be easy, prepare yourself for challenges and meet them with resilience. Instead of expecting people to act a certain way, accept them as they are, not as you wish them to be. John had a plan to get a promotion by a certain age, but things didn't go as he expected. Instead of getting frustrated, he learned to adapt, seeking new opportunities. He even found greater satisfaction in a different role. By letting go of a rigid expectation, he was able to open himself up to a better future. When you release your grip on expectations, you gain true freedom. You no longer suffer when things don't go as planned, because you understand that life was never meant to follow your script. New perspective. View challenges as a test of resilience. Instead of seeing obstacles as unfair, view them as necessary tests of your strength. Question: what if every failure, every challenge, was just life testing your resilience? What if it's life's way of preparing you for something greater? When someone lets you down, instead of feeling bitter, see it as training in emotional resilience. When your plans fall apart, instead of despairing, see it as an opportunity to adapt and grow. When you don't get what you want, instead of complaining, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Sarah faced a difficult breakup that left her heartbroken. At first, she was angry and bitter, expecting love to be perfect, but then she chose to adapt. She spent time focusing on herself, building her inner strength, and learning what she needed in a healthy relationship. That hardship turned out to be the best thing for her personal growth. Every challenge is a chance to build wisdom, patience, and strength. The Stoics didn't just endure hardships, they welcomed them as opportunities to prove their character. Drop your expectations. Accept reality as it is. Adapt and grow. This is the path to true peace. Friendships, like everything in life, are impermanent. We are taught from childhood that true friendship lasts forever, that the people who are with us today will always walk beside us, that if a friendship fades, it is a failure. Someone didn't try hard enough, someone stopped caring, or someone changed. But here's the truth. Friendships, like everything in life, are impermanent. They are not failures. They are chapters. People change. Their priorities shift. Life pulls them in different directions, and that's okay. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you will free yourself from unnecessary pain. Instead of mourning lost friendships, learn to appreciate them for what they were while they lasted. Epictetus's wisdom: nothing truly belongs to you. The Greek philosopher Epictetus had a powerful teaching. Never say of anything, I have lost, but I have returned it. Has your friend died? They have been returned. Has your child died? They have been returned. Has your partner left you? They have been returned. It sounds harsh, but this isn't a rejection of love. It is a recognition of reality. The people in our lives do not belong to us. They never have. Just as they entered our lives at the right time, they will leave when the time is right. And this is not a tragedy. It is simply the way life flows. Instead of clinging to relationships out of fear, appreciate them while they are here. Love deeply, but hold lightly. Why we struggle with letting go. People resist the idea that friendships can end because they mistake impermanence for failure. But think of it this way. The fact that a book ends does not make it any less meaningful. The fact that a sunset fades does not make it any less beautiful. The fact that someone was once your best friend but isn't anymore does not erase the value of the time you shared. Some friendships are meant to last a lifetime. Some are meant to teach us something and then fade. Both are equally valuable. Practical action. Cultivate self-reliance. Be your own best friend if friendships are impermanent. What should we do? The answer is simple. Build a relationship with yourself. You are the only person who will walk with you from birth to death. The only constant in your life is you. So instead of clinging to external relationships for validation, learn to enjoy your own company. Develop a strong sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on others. Pursue hobbies, passions, and interests that make you feel whole. Build emotional resilience so when people leave, you do not break. Friendships are beautiful. They are necessary, but they are not guaranteed, and they are not the foundation of your happiness. You are. Embrace the impermanence of friendships. Cherish them while they last, and when they fade, let them go with grace. Nothing worth having comes without sacrifice. We live in a world that tells us we can have it all: success without struggle, love without effort, and rewards without risk. We crave instant gratification, avoiding anything that requires patience, discipline, or sacrifice. But here's the truth. Anything truly meaningful in life demands sacrifice. You cannot achieve greatness while clinging to comfort. You cannot become extraordinary while making ordinary choices. If you look at the most successful individuals, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and visionaries, they all have one thing in common. They sacrificed comfort for their dreams. They woke up earlier. They worked while others relaxed. They endured failures and kept going. They gave up short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment. The question is, are you willing to do the same? The samurai and the philosophy of Kaizen. The ancient samurai warriors followed a strict code of discipline and sacrifice. They believed in Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement through daily effort. For a samurai, every action, even the smallest one, was a chance to refine their skills, discipline their mind, and become better than they were yesterday. They understood that greatness was not achieved in a single moment, but through a lifetime of sacrifices. They trained tirelessly, giving up comfort for mastery. They practiced self-control, resisting distractions that weakened their focus. They embraced hardship, knowing that pain was the price of strength. If you want greatness, you must adopt the same mindset. Are you willing to pay the price? The problem is not that people lack dreams, it's that they aren't willing to sacrifice for them. You want success? Then be willing to sacrifice time-wasting habits and distractions. You want financial freedom? Then be willing to sacrifice unnecessary spending and instant gratification. You want to build deep relationships? Then be willing to sacrifice ego, pride, and fear of vulnerability. You want to master a skill? Then be willing to sacrifice leisure and dedicate yourself to daily practice. Everything you desire has a price. You either pay the price of discipline or the price of regret. There is no escaping sacrifice. You only get to choose what you sacrifice. Practical action. What do you need to give up? To step onto the path of mastery, you must identify what is holding you back and be willing to let it go. Sacrifice time-wasting. Habits, mindless scrolling, binge-watching, or meaningless distractions. Sacrifice toxic influences, people who drain your energy, relationships that hinder your growth. Sacrifice your excuses. Stop waiting for the right time and start now. Greatness is not given, it is earned. The question is simple. What are you willing to sacrifice to become the person you were meant to be? The more desperately you chase love, the more it eludes you. We have been conditioned to believe that love is the ultimate goal in life, that finding the one will complete us. That happiness is only real when shared with someone else. But here's the truth. The more you chase love, the more it runs from you. How often have you seen someone desperate for love, only to repel it instead? How often have you watched someone chase after affection, only to be left disappointed? Love is not something you hunt, it is something you attract. The Stoics understood this deeply. They did not view love as the purpose of life, but as an addition to it. They believed that true fulfillment comes not from another person, but from self-mastery, purpose, and inner peace. You don't need someone to complete you. You need to become so complete within yourself that love, when it arrives, is a bonus, not a necessity. The Stoic perspective. Love is an addition, not the purpose. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, warned against becoming too attached to external things, including relationships. He wrote, "If you wish to be loved, love yourself first." This does not mean rejecting love. It means not relying on it for happiness. Many people chase love because they think it will fill a void inside them. They believe a relationship will heal their wounds, cure their insecurities, or bring them lasting joy. But no relationship can give you what you refuse to give yourself. Love should never be your purpose. Your purpose is to grow, to learn, to build, to explore. Love is a companion on that journey, not the destination. How to attract love without chasing it instead of chasing love? Become the kind of person that naturally attracts it. Work on yourself. Develop your mind, your skills, and your passions. A strong, independent person is magnetic. Find purpose. People are drawn to those who have a sense of direction in life. Find something that excites you and pursue it fully. Build self-respect. Stop tolerating relationships that drain you. Walk away from anything that doesn't align with your values. Embrace solitude. Learn to enjoy your own company. If you are content alone, you will never need someone else to fill your emptiness. When you stop needing love, you become more attractive. Confidence, independence, and self-respect draw people in far more than desperation ever will. Practical action. Pour energy into yourself. Instead of spending time chasing relationships, focus that energy on your personal growth. Read, learn, expand your knowledge, your passions. Create something meaningful. Pursue what excites you. Your health. Take care of your body and mind, your inner peace. Meditate, reflect, and build emotional strength. The irony of love is this: when you stop looking for it, it finds you. The best relationships happen when two whole, fulfilled individuals come together, not because they need each other, but because they choose to share their lives. Stop chasing love. Start building yourself. Love will follow when you least expect it. Just because an idea is popular doesn't mean it's true. For centuries, people have blindly followed the crowd, assuming that if most people believe something, it must be right. But history has proven, time and time again, that the majority is often wrong. Think about it. There was a time when the majority believed the earth was flat. Witch trials were justified. Slavery was acceptable. Smoking was healthy. The truth is not determined by popularity. A false idea does not become true simply because many people believe, and yet most people conform out of fear. Fear of standing alone, fear of being wrong, fear of questioning authority. But if you never question, you never grow. If you never think for yourself, you remain a prisoner of society's illusions. Socrates, a martyr for independent thought. The Greek philosopher Socrates was sentenced to death for one reason: he questioned what everyone else accepted. Socrates dared to challenge popular beliefs. He refused to accept things at face value. He asked uncomfortable questions that made people think. And for that, he was condemned. His wisdom threatened those in power, so they silenced him. But here's the irony. Socrates is remembered as one of the greatest thinkers in history, while those who condemned him are forgotten. His story is a warning. Society will always punish. those who think differently. But the world only progresses because of those who refuse to conform. Think for yourself, seek truth. Not approval. Most people follow trends, opinions, and ideologies without ever stopping to ask, is this actually true? If you want to live a life of meaning, you must train yourself to challenge assumptions. Ask why. Why do people believe this? Who benefits from this belief? Is there real evidence to support it? Seek truth, not approval. Stop trying to fit in. Seek to understand. Read from diverse sources. Don't rely on one narrative. Explore different perspectives. Be willing to stand alone. The truth is often unpopular. Have the courage to defend it. Practical action. Challenge assumptions. Every day, if you don't think for yourself, someone else will think for you. Next time you hear a popular opinion, question it. Does it make sense? Is there evidence? Study history. Learn how often the majority has been wrong. Engage with different viewpoints. Don't just listen to what confirms your beliefs. Seek opposing perspectives. Be open to changing your mind. True. Strength comes from adapting when faced with new truth. The crowd is often wrong. Think for yourself, seek truth, and never be afraid to stand alone. In a world obsessed with speed and instant gratification, patience is a superpower. We live in an era where everything is expected instantly. Fast food, fast internet, instant success, instant validation. Society has conditioned us to believe that if something doesn't happen quickly, it's not worth pursuing. But here's the truth. Everything that truly matters in life, success, love, wisdom, mastery, takes time. Those who chase quick results only find frustration. Those who learn patience, however, hold true power. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active endurance. It is the ability to stay committed, to trust the process, and to resist the urge to give up when results aren't immediate. Those who master patience control their destiny, while those who rush through life remain at the mercy of their impulses. The wisdom of Taoism, flowing with time. The ancient Chinese philosophy of Taoism teaches that those who master patience are the ones who truly understand life. Taoist masters observe that nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished in its own time. The river does not force its way, it carves mountains with patience. The tree does not grow overnight. It stands, strong because it took years to develop deep roots. The lesson? Forcing things leads to stress and failure. Letting things unfold with patience leads to wisdom and fulfillment. Instead of demanding immediate results, trust that things will unfold as they should. Instead of forcing a relationship to move faster, let it grow naturally. Instead of expecting instant mastery, embrace the learning process. Taoism teaches us that life is not a race, it is a journey. The impatient suffer, the patient thrive. Why impatience leads to failure. Impatience is the cause of most failures in life. Impatience in success leads people to quit too early, not realizing how close they were to a breakthrough. Impatience in love leads to rushed relationships, misunderstandings, and emotional turmoil. Impatience in personal growth leads to frustration and self-doubt when progress isn't immediate. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a month and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. The greatest rewards in life come to those who can persist when others quit. Practical action. Train yourself to delay gratification. If you want to develop patience, you must train it like a muscle. Practice delayed gratification. Instead of choosing what feels good now, choose what benefits you in the long run. Trust the process. Stop demanding instant results. Set your goals and keep working, even when progress seems slow. Endure setbacks with strength. Every failure is part of growth. Learn from it and move forward. Adopt a long-term mindset. Think in years, not days. Mastery takes time, and the patient will always surpass the restless. Final thought. Patience separates the weak from the strong most. People are slaves to their impatience. They demand results, get frustrated, and quit. But those who master patience, they achieve the impossible. In life, patience is power. Learn to endure, learn to wait, and you will accomplish what others only dream of. Life is fleeting, and you don't have time to waste chasing illusions. Every single day, time slips through your fingers. You can't buy more of it. You can't rewind it. You only have one life, and you don't have the luxury of wasting it on illusions. Most people will drift through life, following the path that society lays out for them, chasing comfort, expecting things to be easy, holding on to friendships that have faded, avoiding sacrifice, chasing love out of fear, following the crowd without thinking and demanding instant results without effort. But you have a choice. Right now, you can choose to take control. You can either live passively, or you can live intentionally. You can reject comfort and step into the unknown, where real growth happens. You can drop expectations and embrace reality for what it is, not what you wish it to be. You can cherish friendships without clinging to them, understanding that change is a part of life. You can sacrifice what holds you back and build something greater in its place. You can stop chasing love and focus on yourself, knowing that the right people will enter your life naturally. You can think for yourself, even if it means standing alone. You can embrace patience, knowing that true success comes to those who persist. So ask yourself, what will you do today to begin living with purpose? Most people will resist these truths. They will choose the easy path. They will stay comfortable, remain attached to illusions, and regret it when it's too late. But you don't have to be one of them. You can choose to act now. You can step into your power and take control of your destiny. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it may never come. Start now. Make today the day you begin the journey toward your true self. If you embrace these lessons, you will live a life of meaning, resilience, and wisdom. You will wake up with purpose and go to bed with peace. You will shape your destiny instead of letting the world shape it for you. And when the end comes, as it will for all of us, you will not look back with regret. You will know that you lived fully, loved deeply, grew fearlessly, and embraced every moment for what it was. That is the only way to truly live, with intention, without regret. The time is now. Take the first step toward your life's true purpose. This is your moment. Seize it.